So today I have with me Renee Davis. She's a critical component in the community, helping those that are dealing with stress, such as caregiving, unhoused, seeking some type of medical support. And so I want to welcome you, Renee Davis, because you are such a blessing and you help me to expand my outreach as the founder of Women on the Grow, which is a 501c3 outreach ministry. We love being able to provide spiritual support, cards, prayers, no cost for counseling from me. We also can send funds when we can to support women that are in distress. And often, Renee, I get calls and I'm not able to respond. I don't have the resources or I don't have the right connection. So I'm so glad that my sister Jamila referred me to you because she was so excited to tell me about you as a care navigator. So could you please give us a little history of what it is to be a care navigator?
Yes. So ACCA is also a nonprofit, and it was started by Reverend Cynthia Peer Elliott. ACCA stands for Alameda County Care Alliance. So we
Okay.
started in Alameda County 10 years ago, 2013, and Reverend Cynthia saw the need for our community to be empowered, educated, advanced, and advocated for. Because, like you said, there's a need for so many resources that a lot of us have no idea how to obtain. So as a
Right.
navigator, I navigate participants through resources and referrals so that they can enhance their lives. So we have 5 cornerstones, which are spiritual, health, is social and medical, caregiving, advanced care planning, and also social. So
Wow.
and the needs of spiritual. Everyone is not spiritual, but of course, you always can be uplifted. We
Mm-hmm.
Reverend Cynthia designed different tools just to, help you with relaxation, help you with stress, help
Mm-hmm.
you have better days when you have more bad days. She just created these tools. Also for medical, we help you just even have conversations with your physician because a lot of times you go to the doctor's appointment and then they just want you in and out and they don't really talk to you or have the conversation with you based on your needs, so they see everybody as one person. So we empower you to be able to have this conversation with your physician based on what you need and your illness and what's going on in your health, even mentally. A lot of times, as you said, after the pandemic, a lot of people have suffered mentally and haven't received that help. So as
So
a
when you say that you empower some, what does that mean? You give them the language, you set up appointments.
Yes, we have
Exactly how do
we
you do
have
that?
a whole thing that we call a clinician visit tool, where you would be able to go over the clinician tool based on your needs. The Care Navigator provides the training so that you can go and give you the words to speak to your doctor. Also, anything in your medication list that you might not understand. A lot of people are given meds and not sure why they're taking this medication and what is it for, what are the side effects. So we give you that empowerment to be able to go to your doctor and ask these pertinent questions about your health.
So how is that facilitated? You go to the house, you go to the doctor's
Yeah,
appointment.
so we do in-person visits, so it's to empower. So we're not going to assist you at the appointment, but we're going to give you the tools that you need so when you go to the appointment that you'll be able to advocate for yourself
Okay.
with your clinician. We
I,
also
I know I had a recent example where someone came to me and they were overwhelmed uh, and they wanted to take a little vacation, just a little getaway after a very overwhelming, extensive 24 hours a day care.
mhm,
And they were feeling guilty about taking a vacation. And I said to her, why don't you have a real direct conversation with the doctor and say, look, I'm the only person available. And if you think that my family member is going to be in the hospital, released very soon, that I will not take the vacation because she wasn't quite sure how long her loved one was going to be in the hospital. And I said, because if they know that you're the only one and that you also need a break,
right,
maybe they will speak more clearly. And, transparency is so
exactly.
important. And a lot of times they will guard the caregiver, protect them, but she really was on the edge of just having a breakdown. And I said, just tell them honestly and directly, look, I'm the only person and I'm overwhelmed, I'm exhausted, I'm burned out. I love my family member, but I don't want to feel guilty and I don't want to leave if there's a chance that they're coming home very soon. And I felt like, is that an example of empowering a
Yep,
patient? I mean, a caregiver?
that's definitely an example of empowering the person, because a lot of times you think that the doctor knows it all,
Yes,
and they are, they're going to just speak to you based on their training and getting on to the next patient too. So sometimes you have to stop them and advocate for yourself and empower yourself and get them to be real with you. You
that's
know,
right.
you don't
Very
want,
good.
it's not, Reverend Cynthia says, it's not, I don't want to know what you know as a doctor. I want you to know what I want to know.
Yes,
So,
and my position, my role, because I find so many caregivers have been abandoned by other family members, or they
exactly.
think, oh, well, you're doing so great, or they live in another state, or there's some issues of dysfunction and secrets and
Yeah,
anger
and
and
that's something else that Reverend Cynthia has designed. It's called a caregiving workbook. And it gives you also empowerment, because a lot of people don't want to ask family for help
yes,
and things like that. But you need to seek help because you need that respite. Even if you have to ask the person, can you come sit with us for a couple of hours? When are you free this week? What days are you off this week?
yes.
You don't have to be ashamed to ask for help. And a lot of
Now you mentioned a workbook. Is that something that's available at a website? Do you order? Do you pay
you
for it?
have
Is it?
you have to be a participant. So you have to be registered with ACCA to get all the tools. And being registered only means, of course, because it's a nonprofit, so they just want to know your name, your date of birth, your race, and your address. So if because a lot of people get a little skeptic, it's a free service. The Care Navigator comes to see you guaranteed 6 to 12 visits based on your need, and it's all free. So once you say it's free, people get a little skeptic,
Yeah.
and you have to sign up. And I have a little tablet that I have to put this information in because it's based on funding. ACCA is funded by Kaiser and the Public Health Institute. So, of course, they want to know that we're actually providing services. So, in order to receive the Care Navigator, you have to just give your name, your birthday, and your address.
Yeah, documentation is important.
Yes, to receive
Now,
this.
you said that she's based in Alameda County, which is in Northern California. So
Okay.
is this available to anyone or only those in Alameda County?
So it's available to those in Alameda County, and now we expanded to Los Angeles County and San Jose County and Santa Clara County so far.
Okay, could you say that again? I'm not sure how you're positioned to your mic, but it's not quite strong. So I may
Okay.
have to repeat some things that you're saying. Could you say again, where are these services available?
So Alameda County, Santa Clara County,
Santa Clara?
Santa
Okay.
Clara County, San Jose County, and now Los Angeles County.
Because my sister Renee, I know you from New York, so you're probably getting used to pronouncing all these Hispanic cities: Santa Clara, San Jose, San
Struggling.
Francisco.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so right now, those are the only 4 counties that we are servicing in California.
Well, Los Angeles County is huge, and I know there are a lot of people that are listening to this that are in Los Angeles County. And please expand a little bit more. You mentioned spiritual, medical. What were the other pillars?
So the other pillar is caregiving,
Caregiving.
advanced care health, and then social. So the social one is also important because we use a social needs tool to find out what are your needs. Maybe you need housing, transportation, meals, your electricity paid, utility bills paid. So we also help you with those resources. There are a lot of resources, especially just for seniors, that help you with your utility bill and help you with transportation. And also senior centers that are especially in Los Angeles County that you can go and have free activities like exercise. They do chair exercise. They have dance classes, computer classes, meals every day. They provide lunch every day in these different LA County senior
So how
centers.
many physical locations in LA County?
For senior centers, there's about 23 senior
Hmm.
centers throughout LA County. Yes. And they provide services for anyone over 55 plus. And you could go have a hot meal. We also have meal deliveries throughout the
Oh,
counties.
I know quite a few women that could benefit from that.
Yes.
Recently, our Women on the Grow ministry outreach provided some funds to a woman who was unhoused, and she needed to be in a hotel for 3 days before the new location, before she was eligible or ready for this new location. And I wish I had known about these type of services that you have. Is there a website that my listeners can go to, or
Yes.
is there a phone number they can call you? Because it sounds like a very broad spectrum of services. And after this pandemic, things have just elevated the distress, the displacement,
Yes.
prices going up, jobs being eliminated, caregiving, mental stress. How does one reach you, Renee?
So my direct number is 628-239-3021. And if you want any information, you can go to www.care-alliance.org. So it's CARE-ALLIANCE.org.
Okay, all right. Is there a particular scenario or success story or something that you experienced? You said, this is exactly why I'm doing what I do, that you
Yeah.
could share. You don't have to share a name or anything, but what were some of the dynamics where you felt like this was so fulfilling and this really why this organization exists?
Yes. So there was a young lady, and I'm going to call her young, who was caregiving for her husband. And she's
Hmm.
81 years old. And she was his total caregiver. He was diagnosed with cancer, came out the hospital immobile. He's not able to get around. So she was providing bathing, showering, all for her, by herself.
Hmm.
So even though California provides an in-home service support, you only can get it if you are eligible for Medicaid. Now, these two people, they did well in their life. So, of course, they're retired with a great pension. They own their home. So now they're not able to get this in-home support services. And they had no idea that they can hire a private caregiver to come in and to give her respite and to also help her with medical equipment. So she didn't have a shower bed, she didn't have a Hoyer lift, and these things that would help her take care of her husband better. She had no idea. So when she was referred by the church, Bethel AME, because we have a partnerships with faith-based church, because of course all church have sick and shut-in ministries. So we connect with those ministries and see how we can help their congregation. And she came straight from the church and she had no idea. She thought she had to do this on her own. And of course, like I said, she didn't even want to ask for help. But when we went through the caregiver workbook together, she realized that there were some people that she could just call up and ask
Hmm.
if they had an hour or 2 hours to come so she could even just take a nap because she wasn't even sleeping.
Yeah, yeah, that's a lot of sleep deprivation.
So
So you mentioned that you are aligned with churches. Are there any churches in the LA area that you are aligned with? Do
yes,
they
so
have to, pardon me?
Macedonia Baptist Church,
Hmm.
Bethel AME, and Faith and Worship Church.
Okay, so I'm sure there's some churches, church families listening, even some pastors listening. They need to reach out to you and get the resources available for their parishioners because the church is not only just a spiritual hospital, but it's a place where people come with so many ailments and
Right,
issues of life. And so I know this would greatly benefit uh, the
right,
pastor and
because
the
people
ministry.
trust the church more than they trust their doctor. The pastor gets more truth than that they are able to give the
That's a
doctors.
good,
So
that's a good point. That's a
I
very good point.
wanted to
That's
go
a good
through it.
point. Yeah. So tell me what a typical day looks like for you, Renee, because I'm thinking there may be somebody saying, well, how do I become a care navigator? What is your typical day like?
So my typical day is like first in the morning, especially since we're just starting in LA, we are focusing on the outreach, getting more churches, getting more medical facilities, even skilled nursing facilities and rehab facilities to know about our services because we just started in LA in February.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're reaching out to, different medical facilities and different churches because we also do presentations so that we can let everyone know about our services. So I spend my morning on the phone, mostly doing that. And I do in-person visits. And these visits are also just done over the phone. Some people, because of the pandemic, don't want you still to come into their home, but
Hmm.
I still can provide services and the resources just on the phone.
Okay.
I spend a lot of my time then in the field visiting my participants because some participants, they don't have caregivers and they're alone too. That's a lot of people that I came across from the church. They're just at home alone. They can't go to church anymore. They're,
Uh-huh.
not mobile. And again, they don't have any caregiver or any support. So I get to go visit these people who are alone and refer them to caregivers, get caregivers in their home. Also, there are not enough caregivers. So I'm glad that you put me on this platform too. So even if you are a caregiver, you can reach out to me too. And if you're not working and if you have any skilled non-medical caregiver or medical caregiver, CNAs, that is, willing to do some work, there are a lot of people out there that are in need of caregivers.
Okay, so I'm glad that you clarified that. So if someone does not have a medical background, but they have the heart and the sensibility and the to know how to give the attention to someone that needs care, maybe they're not mobile, or maybe they just need
Yes,
assistance
someone
with
to
making sure they take their
go to the
medication or
grocery.
with their meals.
Mhm.
Okay. So as we close, let me just do a little role playing. Let's just say if I called and I said, Renee, um, I haven't been working and my electricity bill is just sky high. I'm a senior citizen. What would you tell me?
I will let you know that I'm going to give you the information where you can fill out a form. It's just a form. Send
Mhm.
it in with the amount of bill the amount of bill you owe, and they're going to pay your bill for you.
Who's going to pay the bill?
It's two different agencies. One is LA Cares, and the other one is Senior Health.
Okay. Now let's have another role playing. If I say, I'm taking care of my husband and I just need a break. I'm tired. I don't have anybody to help me. I can't lift him. He's heavy. Um, I have some people that tell me that they're taking care of a loved one and they become very cantankerous, very difficult to deal with, and I need a break. Do you have someone that could come uh, maybe 3 or 4 times a week and just help me because this is getting very stressful?
Okay. So, and there's a lot of ways to get caregiver help, especially if the person in need of care is a veteran. The Veteran Affairs, they give free caregiving. They have a nurse come out and assess the need, and the nurse can say, "Oh, Mr. John needs 40 hours of caregiving," and the Veterinary Affairs pay for that caregiving. There's
Okay.
also IHSS, but that is also based on your income. And then there's private caregiving services that provide care based on need. So to get paid private care, you have to pay for your hours. I deal with caregiving agencies where there's no minimum. If you just need someone to come for 2 hours a day or 3 hours a day, then you can have that care. And then we also, like I said, have that caregiving workbook to empower you to look in your neighbors, look
And
at,
I don't have to pay for this?
well, yes, the private caregiving you have to pay for.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. They have senior companion programs that are free, but they are limited hours. So in
So
order,
what I'm understanding is that your organization may not always provide the service or pay for a service, but they will refer you to a service that you may not be aware of.
Correct.
Because what I'm finding in our community, there's a lot of money left on the table because we didn't realize these services were available to us. And you made a very good point about the trust factor.
Right.
So, what would you say as we close to someone who is watching that really needs some help, but they're concerned about, do I have to disclose how much money I make, or I feel ashamed, or I don't want anybody coming to my house, or I don't have a car. What would you say to that person that is missing out on some great services and we want them to overcome the shame and the procrastination? What would you say to that person?
I would say that I'm a care navigator, and that is for a reason to be able to support, care for you, and navigate you through any of your needs and to provide goals to make them your priority so that you can handle them and take care of them. I want to empower, advocate, and encourage our community so that they can receive the resources that are available.
Wonderful. And they are now in LA County. What is the next? Do you know what the future looks like?
So the future looks like San Bernardino County would be the next county. The ACCA is trying to get Kaiser to refer their patients in all counties because right now we get referrals only from Kaiser and Alameda County. But as long as there's a Kaiser in the county, we want to work with Kaiser so that they can refer their patients that they know can benefit from our services.
Okay. All right. And I think we mentioned this already, but I want to reinforce it. If someone is saying, I would like to become a care navigator, should they reach out to you or should they reach Reverend Cynthia?
Yes, they should go to the website because there are qualifications and things that you need to have in order to be a care navigator. So at that website, www.care-alliance.org, the job listings will be there and you can contact someone directly from Human Resource.
Okay. Renee, thank you so much for just being a earth angel. You have such a beautiful spirit. I'm so
Thank you
glad
for
that you're
having me.
my sister's beautiful goddaughter. You've been
Thank
such a
you.
blessing to her. And I'm grateful that you took the time to share with me and share with my audience this amazing service that we want people to have, take advantage of it.
Yes, thank you so
Yeah.
much for this
Thank you
platform.
so much. And we'll be sure to post the phone number and the website. And we'll be sharing this on all of my social platforms. And for those of you that are watching and your ears just were stimulated, make sure you reach out. Don't let procrastination, don't let shame, don't let embarrassment, don't let the stress block you from a blessing and a connection. And if you like this series that I'm producing, if you like this and you want to share it with your church family, your sorority, your neighbors, your family, please hit the share button. Won't you do that? Won't you leave your comments? It really helps me when I see your comments. It really helps me when you share the video. We want to circulate this. We want to get the message out. And I depend upon you for your support. Thank you for watching this series called Innerviews with Dr. Jewel Diamond Taylor. And my special guest today was Renee Davis, a care navigator. God
Thank,
bless you, honey.
thank you so much.